Hello and welcome back to an incredible day here in Japan. Spring is here and it's starting to get much warmer. Flowers are blooming. It's just feeling really amazing. And something else that is amazing is that we got a shipment of some fish. More than just some fish, because I also got something else. But take a look at this rock work that I'm working on. Maybe for escape in the future, having to do with African cichlids, but that will be sometime far in the future. But let's take a look at the fish room. The lights are still off because it is quite early in the morning. And this right here is the package that I just received about 20 minutes ago. And if you take a look closely at the tape right here, it says glass aquarium, so there's some tanks in there. But before I open this up, I'm going to do some maintenance on the tanks, especially this one right here, because this is the tank that we're adding the new fish into. So I can't wait for that. I'm gonna turn on the lights right now. This one is not hooked up on an automatic timer, so every morning I come out here and I manually turn them on. But this tank, just a quick update, it's not, I'm happy with it, but I'm not that excited with it. The Monte Carlo growth is amazing, as you guys can see, but I don't know if I really like that look, because now it looks kind of heavy and it looks kind of weird, to be honest. But maybe I just have to trim it down a little bit. The glossostigma is crazy. Look at this carpet growth. I'm gonna have to trim a little bit of that on the corners, some of the taller growth. The hydrocotyle tripartita is looking great, and I just love the plant growth in this tank. It's quite amazing. And I'm running 2 lights on this tank because just with this light right here, it's kind of dark and you can kind of see it's not that bright. So I added this light. It's not the right size for the tank, but it just makes it a whole lot brighter, and you can see the plant growth has been quite amazing. And as for the algae growth in this tank, I'm quite amazed at how little algae I've had to deal with since setting this tank up. And I think it's mainly because of these floating plants right here. They've helped quite a bit, and I'm quite glad I put those plants in there. So I'm going to start by doing a water change on this tank, as well as wiping off some of the dust algae that's in this tank. You can't see it, but there is some, it's very minimal, some algae in there. And I'm going to also do some water changes on these tanks as well. The water changes on the top 3 tanks have been done. They're looking really nice and clean. This tank, the 30 centimeter cube tank, is looking immaculate. Take a look at how clean this tank is looking. And I'm just hanging this light on top of here right now because I'm not gonna put the lid on because I still wanna put the fish in. So yeah, that's how it is right now. I did a little bit of trimming of the Monte Carlo. By trimming, I just mean like plucking out some leaves. I don't know how I like the look of that tower so far. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. These 2 tanks, they still have some algae. I didn't scrub them down 100% clean, as you can see, like back over there. A little bit of algae is not gonna hurt the fish, and it's beneficial, so I really don't mind it. Over here, the Asian Rummy-nosed Rasboras, the Sabor resplendens. Look at how good they look in this tank. And I've got to set some time aside to try to breed these fish. I've got to set up a smaller tank, a breeding specific tank. That maybe I'll do in the future if I have some more time. But what I'm doing now is I'm just filling this tank up with water. I just did a water change, a small water change, and I trimmed off some of the melting leaves because cryptocoryns, they're known to melt quite a bit. But yeah, that is this tank right now. Still have to add more plants to this tank, as well as the fish. So I'm really excited for that to come in the future. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open this box, unbox it, and let's see what's inside. This is not very light. Oh wow, it's put together. Let me show you this close up. So I've just opened the box. You can see the styrofoam package. This is where the fish should be in. I can feel it's a little bit warm, so there must be heat packs in there. And then we've got the aquariums down below, so I'm gonna pull this out. we'll take a look at the tanks for the tank. It's not really that exciting because I already have a couple of them. So that's the receipt. The tanks I got, if I can get them out, are these right here. There's some more cube tanks, the same one you see that's up above the Leaning Tower of Pisa tank. It's the exact same thing. So here it is. We've got 2 more cube aquariums, 1 foot cube tanks, 30 centimeters, whatever you call it. But they're pretty small in size. I consider this to be a nano tank. I'm not sure if you do, but you can see it's quite small. So what I'm thinking in the future is to create a rack just for these 4 tanks. Right now they are on a rack and they could stay here, but I want this rack to be used for other tanks because this is made for a 3-foot tank. So in the future I'm planning to have 2 3-foot tanks right here. This one is a 4-foot tank. I'm planning to have this 4-foot tank and another 4-foot tank up here. So someday in the near future I'm gonna create a rack just for these 4 tanks, and we're gonna have 4 different scapes. And maybe you guys can give me some suggestions on what type of tank or scape I should do with these 4 tanks, whether it be a nature style aquascape or a diorama or a shrimp only scape, anything. You guys can let me know in the future, and I'm looking forward to doing that. Alright, so now we've taken a look at these 2 tanks. Let's go ahead and open this box up. Got the heat packs right here. Take a look at that. 3 beautiful heat packs. They're not very warm though, but that's alright. It's not so cold right now, so... Oh my gosh, they are all alive and swimming in there. That is awesome. This is incredible. Alright, so let's take a look right here. So you can see some black stuff. I think that's carbon or charcoal, just to get rid of any ammonia in there. But the fish I got, it's really, really hard to tell from here, but can you guess them? We'll take them out. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this as clearly as I can, but the fish that I got today, check these out right here. The ENDLER'S LIVEBEARERS, and I got 3 pairs of them. They look incredible. Look at the colors of the males. Wow, these are just beautiful, beautiful fish. I'm gonna acclimate them now and we'll get them inside this tank. So it's been 1 week, more than a week, since I added these ENDLER'S in, and they've been doing really well. Just one unfortunate thing that happened is I lost one of the males on the very first day, which sucks. I don't know what happened to that guy. I looked everywhere outside the tank, down below, couldn't see it. I looked inside of the tank, I looked inside the hang-on back filter, couldn't find that one male at all, so he just disappeared. I have no clue where on earth that guy went, but at least I still have all the others. They're all doing fine in here. They've been eating really well. You can see the 2 males and 3 females, and I think some of the females might be carrying some babies because you can see that some of them are quite round. So I'm hoping that they've got some babies in there so that we can get some more ENDLER'S in the future. And yes, I do have a lid on here, a pretty solid lid. It's glass, not much space for the fish to jump out. I've even covered the back up so that the fish, there's no chance for them of getting out, so really not sure what happened to that one guy. That's pretty unfortunate. I think for this tank, I'm not going to do much more trimming of the plants. I'm just gonna let the 𝗲𝘂𝗀𝗀𝘀𝗀 grow. The light is pretty weak, so the 𝗲𝘂𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is gonna grow tall. Because when the light is weak, they're gonna try to reach for the light, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. The clover plants in the back as well, I'm just gonna let it grow tall so that there's more cover, just in case these pregnant females give birth. The babies can survive in this, so I'm not gonna do anything to the tank from now on, and we'll just leave it and let nature do its thing. Quite a while back when I set up the original guppy tank, which was right here, some of you guys may remember that, I asked you guys to guess what type of guppy I was gonna get for that tank, and if you guessed right, I would give you a shout out, and very few of you guessed it correct. Some of you said ENDLER'S LIVEBEARERS, which is completely correct. That is 100% what I got. So good job to you guys. But the fish that I was originally planning to get was koi tuxedo guppies, and you might be wondering, where are those koi tuxedo guppies? Did you even get them? And the answer is yes, I did. And they are hiding somewhere. They are in this tank right here. This is my plant stock tank. You guys might have remembered me setting this tank up. The plants are doing really well in here. If you look at the plants. They've recovered quite well and they've all survived. But if you look closely, you can see some of my koi tuxedo guppies, and these are fry. So I've got babies of these and I'm growing them up. I'll try to selectively breed those fish. But the reason why I ended up getting live bearers instead, the ENDLER'S LIVEBEARERS, is because this was actually my first pick. This is the fish that I wanted to get, but I just couldn't find a place that was selling pairs of these. I only saw places selling the males, and I really wanted a pair so that I could breed them. And the website that I looked at, they were selling males and females, so I knew I had to get them, and that's why I got them. So now I've got guppies over there and ENDLER'S over here, and I'm really excited to start breeding these guys. Well, breeding is you don't really breed these, they do everything for you. So it's gonna be really fun to see more of these start to grow and develop in this tank. And I'm not sure if the flow might be too strong in this tank. So I might have to change the filter to a lower powered one in the future, but for now they seem to be doing alright. They're eating fine, and you can see this girl, she looks like she's pregnant. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're not already, so that you don't miss all these videos. I'm so excited because we're setting up more tanks in the future, and I'm trying to make this fish room look better, so stay tuned for that. I'm also getting new fish for the 4-foot tank right there. The fish are already in it, so I can't show you guys, but be sure to watch out for that, and I'll see you guys next time.